Okay, this is story time. I'm going to start recording stories, children's stories, and this one is called The Owl and the Tuba. Oops, you have to bear with me while I get this sorted out. The Owl and the Tuba. It's by James L. Lehman, illustrated by Christopher Rashka. Sorry, dude. Okay. And I'm going to try to find a way to hold the microphone and still read it and show the pictures. Right, Tyler? Okay. Okay. When I'd evaluated this before I read it, I said each person is good at different things. You might have a skill that may seem strange to others, but you should pursue it. And I think it's good for especially grades K through 2. So that's just my opinion. And whoop, that was the Benjamin Franklin Award, apparently. To Jessica, reader, critic, advice giver, friend, and daughter. To Jim. Once upon a... If I can do this. I guess you don't need to see me. Oh, that would be better. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Maybe that's good. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Fred who was learning to play the tuba. Tubas are loud, rumbling instruments, especially when they are played by boys who are just learning. And this tuba and this boy were no exception. Fred boomed away on his tuba and nearly drove his parents nuts. You see? Okay. Finally, his mother couldn't stand it anymore and sent him out into the woods to practice. Oh, I see he's carrying his tuba down here. It looks kind of sad. Ooh, look, Tyler's looking. And there he sat every afternoon on a stump under the oak tree, tooting away. That's not the way a tuba sounds, but it's my sound. Okay. Fred thought he was making progress, but everyone who heard him knew he wasn't. Tyler's going potty over there. The squirrels could testify to that. They started stuffing acorns in their ears. The truth of the matter was, Fred couldn't toot worth a hoot. Look, he's getting sad. Okay. I'm trying to get the camera. Now it happened that high in the oak tree lived Hoomer the Owl. Hoomer was a wise old bird who blinked his eyes with great dignity. Blink, blink. When a word of wisdom was needed, he would take in a great windy breath and puff out his chest, and when he released all that air, no sound came out of his beak. The truth of the matter was, Hoomer the Owl couldn't hoot worth a toot. Okay. One day, to the great relief of the squirrels, Fred put his tuba down on the stump, stretched out on the grass, and fell asleep. Hoomer had been watching the boy for some time, and when Fred started to snore, Hoomer flew down to check out the tuba. What do you think he's going to do? He poked his wise old head into the bell. He flapped his wings on the valves. He walked carefully up to the mouthpiece, filled his chest with one of his great windy breaths, stuck his beak in, and let go a blast. Do you think it worked? A mighty toot rumbled throughout the forest. Homer was so shocked he did a somersault and landed upside down in the bell. Fred woke up with a start, and 4 squirrels fell out of the oak tree. Here's the squirrels falling. Okay, there you go. That was the beginning of a great friendship. Every day Homer came down and perched on the bell of the tuba while Fred practiced. When he finished, Fred put the tuba on the stump and let Homer blow into it. Okay, I'm trying to get that better. This went on day after day, and sad to say, the boy never got any better. But the owl was a born musician. By the end of the first week he was playing Stars and Stripes Forever and Turkey in the Straw. Sometimes, while Homer was practicing, Fred would wander through the woods, and he noticed there were lots of owls up in the trees, hooting back and forth to each other. Do you know what it means to hoot? Hoo, hoo. One day, he let out a hoot just for the fun of it, and the whole flock of owls flew down and perched on the limb above his head, blinking at him. Blink, blink. He hooted again, and they all nodded and hooted back. He tried a couple of other hoots, and soon found with a little trial and error he could speak their language. So every afternoon, while Homer tooted, Fred hooted, and it wasn't long until he could hoot better than the owls themselves. Sometimes he would climb up on a limb and tell them funny stories, and they would sit there for hours blinking and nodding and shaking with laughter. Well, the friendship between Homer and Fred lasted for many years, and both the owl and the boy became famous. Homer taught the other owls to play the trombone, trumpet, and piccolo, and started the Homer Toots Brass Band and Piccolo Pipers. He toured the country and made an album. Can you see that? It's kind of hard. There he is, being a conductor. Fred was so good at imitating birds that he went on to the university and became a great, oh boy, ornithologist. I'm gonna have to look that up. And the squirrels, well, they were disgusted by the whole thing and said it was weird, but there wasn't anything they could do about it. There he is, teaching about birds, or learning about birds. Now there's a message in this story. If you can't toot worth a hoot, try hooting. And if you can't hoot worth a toot, try tooting. And you'll meet many squirrels who will tell you it's weird, but don't pay attention to any of them. The end. Tyler, did you like that story? I think he went potty.